Hi everyone, this is KanD Johnson. I am your host. This is Real Talk, brought to you by Real Raw Records. Today's topic is, where are the know-it-alls? Okay, we want to know, where are the know-it-alls? Generally, when this statement is used, know-it-all, people are usually saying it to be sarcastic and insulting of someone who seem to have the answers to everything. And I don't understand myself why or how and at what point in our society did knowing things become an insult. Okay, but that's the way it is. All right. Now, I don't think people give things much thought before they say them or before they incorporate certain sayings or wordings in their conversation. And what I mean by incorporate things into their conversation, for example, people have used the word know-it-all and are using that as a derogatory term. Now, if they were using that term in a derogatory manner and they were referring to someone who is just a pretend person pretending like they know what they're talking about, and I have come across a lot of those type of people online here. Generally, they are very unknowledgeable people. But the problem I'm having with the term know-it-all being used towards a person that's knowledgeable is that, is it supposed to be a good thing to be dumb? I don't understand that. Is it supposed to be a bad thing to know things, to be wise? Back in the day, way back, during the day when we looked up to people who were wise, and we looked at them for guidance, and we looked to them to know it all. And if they didn't know it all, it was a certain level of disappointment that they were greeted with when they didn't know everything. Especially if they were a person, a go-to person for knowledge. Okay. Now, people will use the term know-it-all because they feel inadequate, is what I've found with the use of that term in a insulting manner, usually used by people who feel inadequate in some type of way. All right. And instead of them giving a person their props, as we say in the Black culture, or instead of giving that person their just due credit for having a variety of knowledge or wisdom, or having being intellectually competent, people will try to talk down upon another person, and it's usually, like I said, due to their inadequacy, okay, or shortcomings. They feeling insecure and things of that nature. And to the point where it's become a common thing to be a hater. Okay, Now we've all, not all of us, but because I am speaking to an audience and a mixture of people from different countries and cultures. But in the United States, um, uh, we are familiar with the term haters, all right? And that term has been used very widely to describe people who are not complimentary to a person's character or their um, shortcomings or whatever, or their accomplishments even. So we call that a hater. But even that term has been abused to the point where if you tell somebody the truth and be honest with them about your opinion, or be honest with them and speak the truth to them about them perhaps doing something wrong, saying something wrong, or inappropriate behavior, then people will say, oh, you're just a hater. Well, what am I supposed to be hating on here? Like, hater was supposed to be used for a person that's actually doing something commendable, and then someone being jealous or hateful towards their accomplishments. So all of these terms are just being used and abused, like the words love, faith. We've discussed that in previous broadcasts, how people just abuse terms, okay, and just abuse. This is word abuse. Who's gonna start a civil rights movement to take up for the rights of words, you know, and to vindicate the abuse of words and phrases? Know-it-all is one of those terms that have been completely and totally abused. Most of the time when you come across a very arrogant person, they are usually, from what I've seen, my sister is very arrogant, and I have her in mind when I say this. My older sister, she's very arrogant, but I'm using that as an example or a go-to sort of in my psyche when I speak of a know-it-all, because she don't know very much. She don't know very much, but she likes to give off this air, you know, which is attributed to the arrogance. She like to give off this air that she knows, but she don't, okay? So when I think of a know-it-all in an insulting or derogatory manner, I'll think of a person like that only thinks that they know, or I don't even think she thinks she knows. I think she knows that she doesn't know.